Welcome back to another video. Locked in, working on a Sunday afternoon because truthfully, that's how you pay for the fancy shit on a random Tuesday afternoon. But today's video is actually going to be more on the reflection side. It's going to be thinking or discussing a topic that I was recently discussing with a friend of mine. And it's basically, how do you define what home is? Because naturally, most people develop sort of attachment and identity based on where they grew up. But I think this applies mostly to people who end up moving out of their hometowns. Maybe they move to a different country and then maybe that association isn't as strong, and then you build a new association with a new place. So I was discussing this with my friend, and to me at least, basically, I arrived at the conclusion that I judge where home is very subjectively. Basically, I measure it by the feeling that I get when I land at the airport at that place, or let's say when I look forward to getting back to that place. So for example, a few years ago, when I was living in the US, in Texas, I hated living there. And I was obsessed with the idea of moving to Miami, which I actually ended up doing when I got a chance to work remote, and then I figured everything out to move. And for a few years, that was the place. That was the place that felt like home to me. Every time I left, I had to travel to visit family or whatever, I always looked forward to getting back. And I remember landing and even being at the airport just on my way back to my apartment, I always got excited because I felt like I was home again. But that whole feeling went away after about 2 years. And basically, the whole excitement was gone. And that's kind of like where I realized that, okay, this isn't really home anymore. And that's when I decided to just leave, right? And I've been based in Medellin, Colombia for the past 3 years or so. And still to this day, whenever I land at the city or when I leave, I always look forward to going back. Obviously, I've established myself there and I have roots there now, but that's how I know that, to me, for now, that is the place that I consider home. Especially now also that I've gotten a chance to travel a bit more. I've seen different places, many wonderful places, nice cities. I've been to Italy, Milan, Croatia, Spain, different cities in Spain, Barcelona, Marbella, etc. I've gotten a chance to experience for myself all these places that before visiting them, they just seemed like the ideal place, right? And most of them are even places that objectively most people would classify as superior to Medellin. And I get that completely. Depending on your goals, there are certain places that are just better for networking, for opportunities, for financial advancement, etc. But at the end of the day, it comes down to a single thing. What it is that you want. What is it that you want? How do you want to live your life? Do you want to live life on your terms, on your means, or do you want to live someone else's idea of what they think your life should be? And that's a very important question that you need to ask yourself for anything, because truthfully, any place in the world can be shit if you're not financially stable. Like if you don't have the means to really enjoy a place or get the most out of that place, the experience is going to be pretty much the same no matter where you live. But likewise, when you do have the means, any place, I believe, most places in the world have the potential to be amazing places if you have the means. So then it's ultimately a decision of what exactly do you want. Because I've also seen it so many times. I've experienced this when I was in Miami. There were so many people that they just wanted to be able to say they lived in Miami, but their day-to-day was absolute shit. They couldn't even go out because of how expensive everything is. And then, okay, is that really, do you want to actually live the life or convince others that you are living the life? Very important question. And it's the same, right? I've seen people who like places with huge villas, huge mansions. Their experience is going to be completely different than the day-to-day experience of a regular person who can't afford a nice apartment and struggles to buy groceries because everything is so expensive nowadays. So I was just thinking about that and at how interesting that perspective is, especially once, because I always vouch to everyone to experience things for themselves before making an opinion. And naturally, when you just see external influences, let's say You see influencers flexing in Dubai, traveling all over Europe, etc. It's very easy to idolize that idea and think that is where I need to live. That is what I want. That is what I want to do. But that's not going to be your reality necessarily. It's not even, maybe they want different things than you want. So it's always very important to keep that in perspective and be honest with yourself about what it is that you truly want out of life. So I was having this discussion and with a friend of mine, and I thought it would be a great topic to discuss in a video. Hence, here we are. So, food for thought. Hope you at least got some value out of it. I'm definitely going to be uploading more videos this week. I have a few more in the pipeline already. But for those of you who made it this far, thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.